ever encountered something you couldn't explain?
Ghosts, were they strangers or were they family?
Cryptids, alien encounters,
Strange animal encounters, child spirits.
whatever your experience, we want to hear about it.
Email your story to WLTK-DB paranormalroom@gmail.com for your chance to share your story on the show. Again, that's WLTK-DB paranormalroom@gmail.com.
We're waiting for your story.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Paranormal Room. I'm Christina Bloom. I'm here with my host Logan Jacobson, and you are listening to us on WLTK-DB.com. Let's Talk Radio. We've got a really fun show coming up for you tonight. Todd Bates is going to be with us, and not only is he our fearless leader here at the station, he's an incredibly experienced paranormal investigator, author, voices. I'm going to have to let him tell you because I had it in my head until I went to say it. But he voices TV shows. He's just an amazing guy all the way around. I have got literally a page of stuff that I have coming up. Like so much stuff. I might get into some of it later. I just announced it on the other show. But I do want to announce that I am going to be highly... Hello, Logan and Todd. So I am going to be at the Gem Goddess Emporium this coming Sunday in Plattsburgh, New York. And I will be doing a gallery reading with Anna to Abundance and private readings afterwards. And then for the next week, hit and miss days, but I have some openings for phone and Zoom readings. So if people are interested in doing that, you can just hit me up at on Messenger at Christina L. Bloom, or you can email me at psychicchristina67@gmail.com. And one more little plug I'm going to put in there because in the last show, I didn't even remember it until we were almost done. But my first article in the Inner Voice online magazine is coming out sometime in the next couple of days. It's on Near Death Experience.
I did hear about that. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I'm very excited about that.
And hello back, Robin.
Yeah, hello, Robin. Hello, Lee.
And Lee.
Glad you guys are here. Lee figured it out. Yay. Because I remember the last couple of weeks, she's been having trouble like getting her name up there, and she's been coming up as Facebook user. So I'm glad that she is up there. So, Logan, what do you got going on?
Honestly, not a whole lot. Well, that's true, and it's absolutely a lie. I just started a new series on the YouTube channel, awesome. The Forest VR. It's a survival horror series that I play with my friends. So, if you want to see all the wacky shenanigans we get into during that, then hop over to Turtle Island Gaming. But other than that, I'm really just trying to focus on life. I don't really know how else to put that.
Yeah, I feel that. A lot of us are in that same position, you know. Yeah. I mean, different positions, but yeah, life. Hi, David. Welcome to the show. I don't believe we've seen him before, so thank you, David, for being here. Are we ready to bring Todd out?
I think so.
Okay. All right. We're going to bring Todd out. We're going to have some fun tonight because Todd's a fun guy.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Todd.
How's it going, Todd?
How we doing?
Good. How you doing?
I can't complain for a Monday.
All right. Yo, your Mondays are long. They start early.
Oh, but fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun, but it takes its toll, but it's a good kind of tired.
Yeah. Yeah, I caught part of Diet's show, and I also caught part of Barnaby's show today. So
awesome.
Yeah, that was really, really interesting. David is new to this show, so I just thank you for being here, David. Welcome.
Hi, David.
Yeah, we've been we have so many great shows on this station. Like it's just blows me away.
Oh yeah, it blows me away. I mean, there's some great shows, great hosts, a lot of good content. It's ever changing. It really is. Really good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's free. It's free to watch and listen to. You
I
can't
know,
beat
isn't
it.
it great? I love it. I love that. I wish I had time to listen to everybody's show, but if I did that,
Yeah.
I wouldn't get anything else done.
It's tough.
Yeah, there's a lot of great shows. So I just I watch and see what the topics are because I want to catch, some of everybody's show at some point. But yeah, it's really, really
You
cool.
try. You try
Yeah.
your best. Everybody tries their best to catch a live. It's tough these days. It really is.
It is.
A lot of people are they want everything on demand.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we give them the best of both worlds.
Yeah, that's why all our shows turn into podcasts and podcasts, right?
That's the magic.
Yeah, and you know how to use that particular magic wand because I would be so lost trying to get my own shows out there. It's amazing. Yeah.
It took years to get that down.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Then I don't feel bad at all about it then.
No, don't feel bad. Don't feel bad because it can be tough,
Yeah.
juggling all of that. And then, and it's a struggle. It's a
Yeah.
struggle. There's only so much time in a day.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, do you clone yourself? How do you get all this stuff done? Okay. Well, let's talk about this.
Okay.
Oh, can't see his name. Sorry. There you go.
The book.
The book. Yes.
The book. What a labor of love that was. Holy cow.
Yeah.
That short book, it's a quick read. It's an autobiography. The best I could do. It took a lot for me to sit down and expose myself.
Well,
Yeah,
naturally.
there's some. I read the book, and there is some really personal stuff in there. I mean, wow, you really bared your soul.
I had to get that out. I've been carrying around that muck for so long. I needed to make amends with myself. And for me, that was the best way to do it, was to write everything down. Well, then,
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, you just kind of, a lot of those things were taken from my journal. I journal every day. A lot of that was taken from my journal and reworded and so forth. But it took a lot to sit down and expose yourself like that. But so far, the connection I've had with so many, it's helped so many people. And I'm
Isn't
so
that
glad
amazing?
and humbled by that.
I'm going to hold this up for people to see.
The
there you go.
Haunted Voice.
The Haunted Voice. Lee, I don't know if you can see it. I don't have the ability to put it in chat. I don't have access to the chat.
It's
room.
okay.
So I'm just going to hold the book up.
The Haunted Voice was the voice that was inside of me all these years. It was just haunting me and tugging and tugging and tugging. And I just threw it on my back like a wrap sack and just carried it. And then one day I just, enough's enough. Enough's enough. I've got a story. It's a juicy story.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
It's got a little bit of everything in there, and it's literally my life. We all have struggles. We all have issues. We all have problems. I just chose to put mine on paper. Again, it was a freeing experience. And I can remember the day it was completed, and I'm looking at it and questioning myself. Todd, do you really want to do this? Do you know what happens when you do this? And I better not. And you second guess yourself. Well, then I couldn't do it. I had to put my foot down, make it happen. No one knew. I kept it completely to myself.
You did.
Not even Sherry knew. Or I wouldn't have done it. Something would have gotten in the way. So I had to do this for myself. I had to practice some good selfish self-care doing this. And it was like taking a virtual shower. This
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
It was amazing. And, it's got some paranormal in there as well. It's got some topics. It's got some little bit of investigation, some EVP, things like that. But it mainly surrounds and all I keep hearing is people want to hear more of the story. In time, I will be able to write more of that. It took a lot to write what I did.
Yeah.
But in time, I've already started work on a second one and getting some things down, and they're more detailed. I'm able to dig a little deeper, get more on the emotional side of it. Instead of that numb feeling that I had, I want the reader to connect with it and say, okay, I can see where he had this problem. And for example, I had a problem with alcohol in the paranormal. Holy cow. That was my go-to because I couldn't figure any of this stuff out. Here I am. I'm a skeptic. And having these things thrown at me and not getting any answers was my biggest thing. Was there's no absolutes in this field. You can't sit there and say, tell me your name. Well, my name is Frank. I got to heaven on Thursday. It doesn't work like that.
Right.
It does not work that way. Absolutely does not work that way. Yeah,
No.
you are correct. Yeah.
It doesn't work that way. So I kept chasing and chasing and chasing, having these what I call delayed conversations. My go-to is electronic voice phenomenon. That is how I communicate. And make fun of me all you want, folks. My favorite piece of equipment is an analog recorder. To this day, a cassette. They're wonderful. I love them. And I will promote those things till the day I go, because that is what got me into this. This is how it all started. Was there's so many ins and outs to this field. There's so much stress. There's a lot of stress being an investigator out there. But it's what you get from it, what you put into it. You've got to do the legwork. You've got to, do your thing. And talking to spirits is no easy task. You're a medium.
Yes.
And you have that ability. I wish I could, but there's sometimes I wish I don't.
Yeah. There have been times I wish I didn't too. Not recently, but there have been times that,
I bet. It's got to be nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking for me asking someone their name, knowing there's something there, yet there's no response. And that's what kind of drove me over the edge. I had to retire. I became obsessed with this field. I investigated everything, everywhere that I could. I was on the move. I was waking up at 2 a.m, driving to Atchison, Kansas, for crying out loud. It made no sense whatsoever, this obsession. And I have seen things in this world that I can't explain. 98% of it can be explained. It's that 2% that I'm after. And I've seen a lot of things I can't explain. I've heard a lot of things. I've smelled a lot of things that I can't explain.
Oh, yeah.
And that gave me all the proof that I needed, because, it's not our job to prove it to the world. I was doing it more to prove to myself that there is something after we cross, after it's all over. And getting to that point, though, is the struggle. For new investigators, you're questioning your sanity back and forth because you don't want to hear voices, but you do. So you're constantly questioning yourself. Am I supposed to hear that? Am I mentally stable? Did I take my meds this morning? These are questions I ask myself. And some of these messages that I've received are so vague. I think that's one of the biggest things. They're so vague Their message is yes. That is some kind of validation that there is something over there, but they're so damn vague.
Yeah.
What is your name? And then you get something, help or go, and it
Or
may take out.
Yeah.
Out is a big one. I hear out a lot.
It could take a ton of energy for them just to say a few syllables or project, or I don't think they don't think they have any vocal cords or anything. It's pure energy. I
Right.
think they imprint themselves. I've always followed that. That's why I'm stuck on magnetic tape, is I think that is easier for them to imprint themselves on, due to this, it basically works static electricity, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think they stick to that like glue. Now with my analog, I've captured far less EVP than a digital.
Really? Okay.
A digital, I'll capture more, but there'll be more whispers. There'll be more class Bs. There's an A, B, and C classification system for them. But with the voices, it's hard to tell. Is that a child? It sounds like a child, but or is that just somebody under stress? With a high pitched voice, because you don't know. You can't see anything.
Right.
So
I can.
You can. See,
I'm one of those people, like sometimes I see, not all the time. I mean, they have to want me to see them. But yeah, sometimes I can see them, but then I don't get any voice with it sometimes. So that's just as confusing. Like it's like watching a silent movie and then trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, it's almost as if they can only do one or the other.
Yeah, sometimes I get both, but not very often. I mean, it takes someone who's really strong on the other side to be able to do both together.
Oh, to have that gift, Christina, that probably would have saved me a ton of heartache over the years.
You would think so, but maybe not. Because sometimes you see stuff you don't want to see.
Or it could have launched me farther in there too.
Yeah.
But it's the whole, what kept me going was not knowing.
Yeah.
And wanting to know, that curiosity. I remember sitting down with a priest because I was questioning, okay, I mean, I'm a recovering Catholic, and I was questioning the priest. Is this okay for me to do? Is this some kind of sin? Am I going to go to hell for doing this, for the curiosity? He says, absolutely not, my son. This is pure human curiosity and free will. There's that free will. And that calmed me down for a while. I got to the point where, okay, what I'm doing is normal. What I'm doing is helpful to myself, to help this curiosity, to get my ducks in a row, so forth. But the investigation itself is daunting. It's not like what people think it is. It doesn't happen in 4 hours with breaks. It takes days to really sit down and properly investigate something. You've got to dismantle it, put it back together.
Yeah.
You've got to do some history. You've got to do some homework. There's a lot of legwork with this stuff. And
There is.
some people enjoy the legwork. Some people, they don't want anything to do with it.
We have a comment from David Trusty. I have had contact with my child. My body reacts. I can hear her, even talk to her. It's something you just have to experience yourself.
Yes. Well said, David. Well said.
Yeah.
And it is. For example, an apparition sighting. Not everybody has seen one.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's meant for certain people at certain times. It's not something that just happens. I think it's something that is supposed to happen. For example, a collective apparition is when everyone in the area, in that vicinity, sees the apparition at the same time. That happened once in my paranormal career at the little Sally house in Atchison, where
Hi, Deanne.
We were
Diet.
Hi, Diet.
Hi, Diet.
We were sitting there in the kitchen. We're standing there in the kitchen doing a session, and all three of us saw a little girl standing there. Now, she wasn't like a live human like we were, wasn't that clear, a little fuzzy, a little translucent, a little bit, somewhat transparent. But we could see the bow, we could see the hair. What I'll never forget, and this may just be something with the other side, I don't know. I'll never forget the eyes. Never made eye contact because, well, there were no pupils.
Right.
There were only just completely black eyes. And it's something I'd never seen. It was startling. And then whew, like that, she's gone. But with having all those people standing there, that helped with the sanity part again. Okay. I did take my meds this morning and I still saw that.
I'm not the only one who saw that.
But the room at that time, everything around us changed. It was almost as if time was opened up, like a time tear. We weren't supposed to see that. We weren't supposed to experience that. And it just formulated right in front of us, just instantly. Now, after that, we all had this really uneasy feeling that we weren't wanted there. And at that place, when you get that feeling, you leave.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and pick, provoke. God only knows what could happen. And especially in a place like that. That's a known malevolent haunting. With fire. You know, she was fixated with fire. But that place taught me so much about evidence, the data collection, the experimentation, trying different things to get them to communicate. That was my focus. I just wanted to get them to talk. That's it. And I'd captured a few things out of there. There was one in particular. It was I was with Deborah Pickman and two other investigators, and we're standing there with a candle. There was a candle lit on the floor, nothing else in the room. And Deb had asked the little girl to blow out the candle, something common like that. Now, we didn't hear anything. We saw the candle flicker. We didn't see it like blow out or anything. But listening to the recording later, you could hear, and I don't know how we heard this, but it was so pronounced. It was the too hard. It's exactly what it said. And
wow,
that
I just got goosebumps. Sorry.
that one blew me away. That was one of the most interactive EVP I'd ever captured in that house.
Yeah.
Why at that time? You know, at that point, I'm past the phases of seeing ghosts or hearing ghosts. I want to know why I see and hear them. You know, why didn't you hear that? Why didn't we hear that with the naked ear? These are the questions that would keep me going on and on and on. I would get something like that. Okay, well, we'll go back again. We'll get more. No, it just doesn't work that way.
Nope.
I had to step down. I had to chill for a little while.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing experience. That place left, it has a place in my heart. I'll probably never go back to it again. Mm-hmm. But it has a place in my heart, that little house.
I want to say, David had shared big temperature changes, and like you suddenly go into another realm with them.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, I have done that as well.
Absolutely correct. It's almost as if they guide you there.
Yeah.
You know, something opens up at that moment, that time tear, whatever it was. The room got cool. It wasn't like cold where we could see our breath or anything dramatized. It got cool. It definitely cooled off in there.
Mhm.
The only explanation I can come up with for that is the heated molecules in the air, they may have more energy than the cool ones. So maybe they borrow those while they're here, leaving a cold spot.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
And then when they leave the area, they have to leave, of course, all natural elements here. So that's where we get the hot spots. After they've departed, they have to leave that behind. So there's two things that I mean, temperature changes, EMF fluctuations, all these things. I used to worry myself sick over all the tech gadgets, all the readings, all the data put forth by those, all the science. But you don't need all that.
No.
You just don't. And it took years to wake up and realize, Todd, bring common sense, a notepad, a flashlight, your recorder, and see what happens. And unbelievable. It's almost as if they're afraid. They're afraid of the equipment. Somebody comes in with case after case after case and is unloading and setting up. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's something that I had to do without because I wanted to use more of my head. I wanted to go in there with common sense and see, because it has to be simple. It can't be complicated. I think we complicate it. I think it's extremely simple how spirits communicate.
And I just think of
I'm laughing at Lee's response here. Keep it simple, stupid.
Keep it simple, stupid. Thank you, Lee.
I'm imagining like what it would be like if someone just came up and started setting up a bunch of equipment in my room. I'd be a bit weirded out too. Like, what is that? Get that out of here. What are you doing? Who are you?
Yeah, I mean, it would. Why are you in my house? Why are you bringing this? Why are you flashing all these lights and bells and whistles? And what is this net thing you have? This grid? What is this? I'm afraid to walk around it, let alone through it.
I saw
that may
Ghostbusters.
frighten you.
Oh, yeah. She said, sorry, it's keep it simple, silly.
Either
one.
Either one.
It depends on the
Keep it simple, sweetie works for me too.
Keep it simple,
Tristan said
sweetie.
the EVPs are his specialty.
What's that?
Tristan says the EVPs are his specialty.
Oh, wonderful. Good. We're going to have to talk.
Excellent.
I am going to go on an investigation with Tristan and Ashley someday. I'm going to do it because I want to see how they do stuff. They get the most amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's trial and error. It really is. It's timing. It's how you set it up, how you present yourself. You go in with a good, clean, open mind. Don't go in there closed-minded. Don't go in there and after an argument at home or anything like that. Leave all that stuff at home, and then you will yield results. It's you have to keep trying.
Yeah. This one caught my attention. David said, we used a barometer this last time. First time for me. And when contact was made, sure enough, the barometer would go off. But it was like they followed us. You can feel them there, but they seemed to be afraid at this big group we had there.
Mm-hmm.
And I have found that too. Like when we have a big group, we don't get as much.
True. Less is more. I just, when I had an active team, it was always a small team. Mm-hmm. Less is more, I believe. And that's barometric pressure. That plays a big factor. Thunderstorms, static electricity, all these things play a huge factor in an investigation. There's so many things that go into it, really. But again, we complicate it. If you just show up, be respectful, and just simply talk.
Yeah.
Sure, it looks weird you're talking to thin air. Who cares? The people around you, they talk to thin air too. So you're all talking to thin air, so it's okay. It's a group effort. What people outside of the paranormal field feel, let them feel that. A lot of people fear the unknown, so they don't want anything to do with this field. They're just terrified of it. They don't want to know, perhaps.
Well, I think part of that too is what we see on TV, right?
Mhm.
Because they'll take like what 20, 30, 40 hours of investigation and boil it down to 20 minutes, taking
Right.
out only the most active parts of all of those hours. It takes a long time not only to film it, but then to edit through all of that and to go through all of that material that we get and any investigation, because I know I'm on the review team on my team too. It can take hours of sitting there looking at nothing happening.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And it's especially with like when you're working with hours and hours of footage, there's hours and hours of nothing happening. And then at the times where there might be something happening, you got to go to your team and go, "Hey, is this something?"
It's
or,
always,
or is this an editing thing?
it's always, what do you think? What do you think? Is this
Yeah.
is this anything? There's so much you can capture: video, photography, recording. Some people use those Ovulus.
Yeah.
Very true, Robin.
Nobody thinks anything of anybody talking to themselves anymore for this exact reason. They're probably on their earpiece.
Right. The second those Bluetooth things came out, people would just walk around openly having conversations way too loud, usually, and then get surprised and indignant when someone goes, "I don't know, man. I don't know you."
You see them in the car doing it. You're yelling. They're going at it. You're looking at them. What in the world's going on? But that's true.
But are they like yelling at somebody or are they singing? I mean, because, they could be singing too.
Either one.
I'm sure I look like I'm screaming at people when I'm singing in the car, and thankfully no one can hear me. But, there's that.
It's entertaining.
It is. So Tristan said, just talk like you're talking to any other person. It might seem so weird, but I have found it to be the easiest way to make contact.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
It is. It's so simple. And again, just like Lee said, keep it simple. Keep the questions simple. You don't want to sit there. So what is heaven made of? You don't ask them questions like that. It's too complicated. Keep it simple. What's your favorite color? Do you have a favorite food? I like hamburgers. What do you like? And keep it casual.
Yeah.
Don't drill them. Give them time to answer. Don't go, what's your name? Where are you from? When'd you die? Did it hurt? How did it hurt? My goodness.
Yeah, don't ask questions you potentially don't want the answer to. What's heaven like? Well, how the hell should I know?
Yes.
Right.
And I'm surprised that no one's captured an EVP saying just that, Logan. How the hell should I know?
Yeah.
Please leave. I mean, it sometimes you feel like you're intruding on their privacy. They have privacy just like we have privacy, I feel. And
yeah, I feel like that too.
You're in their home, their domain, their location. Respect that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, that is not your home. That is not your uncle.
Overloaded spirit alert.
That's my Sherry.
Yeah, she cracks me up.
So, but you can confuse them, and maybe that's why you're not getting any responses, because they're so confused. They're like, well, what the hell do you want me to answer? You've asked me so many questions. I don't know what to say.
I can tell you, I went on an investigation once. It was with a class. I was teaching how to do an investigation. And we had a paranormal team come in as like a special guest to do that. And brought in the, I forget what the piece of equipment is called, K2, I think, with all the lights on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he put it in the center of the room and he was asking questions. And we're standing in a circle around it. And it was a pretty big class. I think I had 12 students. So it was the 2 people on the paranormal team and myself and 12 students. And we're standing around in this circle and he's asking questions and, so if you're here, please light this up. Please show us that you're here. I saw the gentleman who was there, the ghost that was there on the other side of the room. And he's just standing there with his arms crossed going, I'm not talking to that idiot. I don't like him. You know, and as a medium, I could see and hear him say that. And I'm just like, I'm trying not to laugh out loud because seriously, that man was not going to light up that machine. Like he just wasn't going to do it.
Yeah, they're not stage performers.
No, they're not. And it's so unfair to ask them to be.
Contrary to popular belief, they do not scare on demand.
No.
Sorry, I lost my handbook for the recently deceased.
I mean, it's so simple, yet we complicate it.
Oh, of course we do, because that's what humans do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what humans do.
It. And I think the answer, I think, when that day comes, and we're not in any hurry, none of us are in any hurry to get there. But when that day comes and we do cross, we're going to go, oh, son of a, really? It's going to right across the head.
Yep.
And really, that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
David Trusty says, but you're right. 4 or 5 of us was always there. And wow, the contact we had, and this place came alive. But this last time, we had a whole production team there, and they were shy about showing themselves. Then would only show to certain ones of us where that they were used to, and then they would follow us. Mm-hmm. And then there are, as he says, bad spirits in these places, and do not like you taking certain talking to certain ones. Sorry, I can't read today.
It's okay. You're doing fine. Hang in there.
Because I got scratched by a good one, and it attached itself to me. 3 months later, after being miserable, I had to take it back, but now I'm okay with them. Hey, Resnack, how's it going?
Hey, Resnack.
Hey, Resnack.
Yeah, he's just like part of the party here,
That's a good analogy. How what they can do, what they can just the force, the power they have over us.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible stuff. And I just wish more people would get out there. Thank you, Lee.
We're going to talk more about that, but I think we need to take a break, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Time for that.
All right, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Todd's voice and what he does with it.
The Body Code is a revolutionary method of energetic healing developed by Dr. Bradley Nelson, which allows us to quickly and easily identify specific imbalances that seem to underline chronic ill health, acute and chronic pain, and discomfort, dysfunction, and stress. Ellie energetically connects with the subconscious of the client. Psychic medium Ellie Weisensell is a medical intuitive and energy healer, and a certified body code practitioner. She identifies and clears energetic imbalances within the body and energy field. Contact Ellie at the website below, and Ellie can work remotely from a distance, by phone, online, video chat. There's no need to travel to an office. Remember, the Body Code is safe for humans and animals. Contact Ellie today.
I love that music. It just gives me to see it back here. All right, welcome back to the Paranormal Room, everyone. I'm Christina Bloom. I'm here with my co-host, Logan Jacobson, and our special guest today, Todd Bates. And I said when we came back from break that we were going to talk about Todd's amazing voice and how he uses it. So I know that you narrate at least one TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Which one is that?
The Ghost Finders.
The Ghost Finders.
Yeah, they're on Paraflick, Apple TV, they're all over the place. I have so much fun with that little show. That is so much fun. The way, and Sherry knows, whenever voice narration day comes for the Ghost Finders, everything stops. Everything, whatever I'm doing, stops because I have to do it right now. They needed them like yesterday because I am the last contact before the show is aired. I'm the filler. And working with Rob and all those guys is amazing. They're real supportive. The narrations are fun for me because of the history, and I really enjoy talking about the location, disclosing that, and then throwing in the meanwhile Melody is upstairs, throwing in those kinds of things. That's so much fun. It's just a lot of fun.
Narration is a lot of fun.
It is, and I get the way I get the scripts. It's kind of crazy, I mean, I'll talk about production a little bit. I get a text message with my lines. I have to come back here, drop everything I'm doing, no matter where I'm at, print them out, do the thing, and then make it happen. But it's so much fun. It really is. It's a lot of fun.
Sure. Via text, LMAO.
And
I want to also welcome Lynn to the chat room. Thank you for being here.
Yes,
Lynn.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about Todd's voice because Todd does have an amazing voice for narration, for just radio, for speaking in general.
Well, and I was born with it and had to develop it. I had to.
You definitely had to develop it.
Had to develop it.
You had to grow into it.
Because
it's not like you were born just hello. Welcome.
No. Hey, Mom. No, it wasn't anything like that. I had to learn how to emphasize, use inflections, use proper plosions, all kinds of stuff. And I went to broadcasting school for that.
Okay.
Because I had, I wanted to learn more. I've always had a fascination with radio, with broadcasting, ever since I can remember. And an opportunity came up to go to a broadcasting school. I did. I learned how to create commercials, how to specialize in doing a little bit of voice acting, things of that nature. And then just be a DJ. It's just so much fun. It's high energy. I was the college station was a classic rock station. I was in love.
Absolutely.
And then it just kind of snowballed. After I graduated, I said, okay, what now? I've retired from the field. What can I do with myself? And that's where the show came along. Haunted Voices came along years ago, but the station itself formulated after the fact. I had the show that developed into, or a chat room that developed into a show that developed into a station. That's kind of how it grew. It all started with just a chat room back in the day. But I wanted this station to be all encompassing. I wanted it to have ghosts, metaphysical, cryptozoology, you name it. I wanted it to be on here. I wanted the little green men to be talked about all the time because I didn't find that many answers throughout my search. But what I've learned from watching, I get a front row seat running these shows. I get a front row seat to you guys. The information you put out, Christina, is outstanding. I've learned a ton.
Well, thank you.
And the other hosts on here as well. I learned so much, and it's such good information. And that's why I wanted a station like this to put these shows together, kind of a one-stop shop, an easy place for somebody to catch a live, and if they didn't get it all, to catch it on a replay. I had a problem with my show, running it and producing it at the same time. That's tough. So I wanted to create a platform for people where they could just literally show up and the work be done for them.
Oh, and we appreciate that so much. You cannot even believe it. Especially people like me, like I can't even figure out how to get my YouTube page up and running, right? So
Oh, I get it.
I so much appreciate that you handle the back end for my shows, because I would be lost without it. That's why I've never done a podcast. Couldn't figure out the tech. Not my thing.
It can be tricky putting it in
Yeah.
certain places where it's supposed to go afterwards. It can be tricky, you know, and there's some trickiness involved. There's a little bit of magic involved. But it's a labor of love, this whole thing. I love it tremendously, and I'm so blessed and humble to see it grow like it is. It is just great question, Lee. WLTK-DB, WLTK, the W, since we are east of the Mississippi, we have a W in front of the call letter. If we were west of the Mississippi, it would be a K.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say it'd be an E, and I was about to be very confused. Because that's usually how those things go.
The LTK is short for Let's Talk. The DB stands for digital broadcasting. So that's where the call letters came from. And Sherry and I formed those 3 years ago, last Friday, actually. And I was debating, okay, what can I call the station? What can I call this station? I just use the call letters. And I know it's a mouthful, folks. I know. But
I trip over it pretty often, actually.
it's what it is. And it's stuck in there. And it's just that's how that was formed. Those are legally registered call letters through the National Association of Digital Broadcasters. So that's how the name came about.
Okay.
Awesome.
I like that question. Never been asked that question.
That was a good question.
That
Lee.
was
Thank
good.
you.
That was good.
David has a couple more comments in here. This house was used as a doctor's office, funeral home, a Civil War battle took place there. It's an amazing place. Of course, years ago, I was a non-believer, but after the first hour, I was a huge believer. A lot of history at that place. And then he also said, I'm also an alien abductee. I was a huge skeptic. Not now. They are as real as we are. I keep journals about my experiences too. I'd love to hear you all go into all this, especially knowing now.
Love
David, I want to talk to you, David.
I want to talk to David too.
We might have him as a guest on later.
Yes.
Later in the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely
David, send
reach
me
out.
an email. Yeah.
Reach out, David. Definitely want to talk about this because, you know, alien abductees, it's such a sensitive place. It really is. And some want to talk about it, some don't. You know, and it's a very private, almost like the apparition. Not everybody goes through it. It's meant for certain people. I don't think I could handle being abducted. I don't know.
I've been waiting for the mothership to pick me up since I was a little kid, and they just keep passing right by me.
Beat me up, Scotty. This planet sucks. I get it.
People, take me home already. Yeah. All right, I'm going to write down that email address that he just put in there so that I can contact him.
That's good
I have
stuff.
to find a piece of paper that doesn't have scribbles all over it. So
that's a good thing to talk about. It really is. And other people's experiences, that's how we learn. It's not, we don't really learn by, you know, watching television shows. We're entertained by them. Documentaries, things of that nature. That's your education. Just if for the new researcher out there, if you could separate those two, that would be great. That would be phenomenal. TV, entertain. Documentary, learn. Grab a veteran out there too. I mean, there's tons of them. And I have yet to see one that won't help. I've seen them help. I've seen the social media posts. People just need guidance. Some people need guidance. Other people don't want. They don't want guidance. They feel that's what it is, and that's what it is.
Mhm.
And that's okay. Because who are we to say whether you're right or wrong? There's no experts in this field.
I want to hear about this.
Whoa.
I want to hear about how he got his MUFON investigator abducted with him.
Holy cow.
I want to hear that
Interesting.
story.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I want to hear that story. And I want to say thank you to Robin. She gave me a really nice compliment, and I want to say thank you.
Yeah, and there's just a lot to go hand in hand with the
Yeah.
field, and it's
I might tear up a little.
you could tear up.
That was really sweet. Thank you, Robin.
That is sweet.
Yeah,
And it's true. You guys have good chemistry together. Just saying.
we do. We
Just wanted
do.
to throw that out there.
Yeah. I might need to make her a permanent part of the show.
She's good people. She got a lot of good
Yeah.
energy too.
She does, yeah.
Well-
Next week talking
Comment.
about her. Oh, wait a second.
I think we already have something for next week.
Yeah, we have somebody already for next week. Next week talking about our abductions. I think Lee has a story to share here.
Ooh.
All right, so we're gonna have to have a show about this.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
one of the things in our promo material does specifically mention alien encounters.
It does, yes.
So, I mean, we can't not have that episode.
Right.
Now, it's not something you just toss to the side.
Right.
That is something you act upon quickly.
Yeah, I knew it would come up when it was supposed to come up.
Absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason. I think we all three know that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I took down David's contact information. I already have Lee's contact information. So yeah, we're going to put a show together later in February for this.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we've got the next 2 shows already set up, but we'll get to it later in February. So Todd, I heard you were thinking about giving one of these away.
Oh, we're going to give one away. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got some hot off the press copies coming in tomorrow. And what do you think? You want to do a trivia question?
Yeah, let's do a trivia question.
We'll
Let's see
see.
who's paying attention.
See who is listening.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoever, the first person to guess in the comments there what my favorite piece of paranormal equipment is, we'll get a copy of the book.
A signed copy.
A signed copy. Oh, yes.
Why
It'll
don't
be
I have a
signed.
drum roll sound effect?
It'll be signed. The favorite piece of equipment
I have a drum roll sound effect.
that I get made fun of for. Quite often, I get ridiculed about it.
Resnick yourself.
Close.
Lee says EVP. Resnick says yourself.
Oh, Lee
Lee
got
has
it.
Got it.
Lee
Woo!
got it.
Analog
All right.
recorder.
Okay. Let me put my email in here. There we go. Lee, get in touch with me there at that email, and I will get a copy of the book, signed copy, over to you. Oh my goodness. That's cool. And what's cool, somebody else said it too, analog recorder.
Yeah.
Let's all say it together. Cassette recorder. Use them, folks. I mean,
Yeah.
they still work. They still do their job. They still do their thing. I'm all
Awesome.
about them. Oh, that's great. And hopefully you like the book too, Lee.
I really liked it. I was able to read this book in like one sitting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real easy read. And because Todd is kind to us older folks, it has kind of a larger print. So it's easier.
David, you're not wrong. Yourself is always the best piece of equipment you can have.
That's
Yeah,
true.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yourself, common sense is the best thing you can have in your toolkit when you're going in one of these places is common sense.
Yeah.
David uses one.
Awesome.
Nice.
Oh, we're going to be good friends.
I was going to say, Todd just found his new BFF.
Oh, I love it. I love it. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, this is fun. What was it? Thank you, 1976ers. You're welcome. There was another question that I was going to ask you, and it was about it was about something that I read in the book, and I was going to remember to ask you, and then I forgot what it was because we got going off on so many different
I know.
things.
I got to have it to run at the mouth.
Yeah, me too. That's why I don't remember what I was going to say. Okay, so it says in here that when you first started doing like the paranormal, when you were invited to participate in a local ghost tour, it got you out of the house and you were a recluse. And I understand the reason because I read the book. But was it difficult for you to step out and step into such an odd thing?
Great question.
As paranormal investigating, because that's not like, you know what, come on, let's go do a trivia night. You know?
Right.
It's different. So
it was, I think, to be honest with you, I kind of laughed it off.
Okay.
It was because I was skeptic. I'm like, oh, come on. Okay, we'll try it. And when I stepped into that area, I felt immediately at home. I was calm. I was cool. I was collective. I was myself again.
Yeah.
Because I had chosen to isolate myself so bad for so long. And then I finally felt, and the people in this community are unbelievable. And you're never alone. I mean, you're just never alone in this community. There's always somebody. And that's, I felt very welcomed. I felt like I was at home whenever I went to that tour. And that's when everything clicked. And it's just started snowballing ever since.
I love that for you because you did find your community. And honestly, there isn't a better community of weirdos on the planet than the
I'm telling you.
paranormal group. Like, you know, we're an interesting crowd. And the thing is that I have found more love and more acceptance in the paranormal community than I even found in the recovery community.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
It's really
Definitely.
like I can go anywhere, literally anywhere on the planet, because I'm in touch with people in other countries too. And I will find the paranormal people. We all just kind of find each other.
Yeah.
It's like we glow a little different color or something, but we all find each other.
Well,
It's
you
a
know,
whole
or
new
you
world.
can follow the mystery machine up to the old mansion.
That works too.
Follow the mystery machine up to the old mansion.
I think that needs to be your next car.
You know what? I would drive the hell out of a mystery machine.
Yes.
100%.
Oh man, I would. I'd ride shotgun with you, Logan. We would go out and tear some things up.
Absolutely.
And then find out the same thing that Scooby and the gang always finds out. It's not
That's
the
Old Man
monsters
Jenkins.
you need to be aware of.
Old
It's
Man
always the
Jenkins.
humans. What was that?
We find out what Scooby and the gang always find out. It's just Old Man Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
If it wasn't for you pesky kids.
Robin says she's seen the Mystery Machine. Yeah, there are people who have duplicates of the Mystery Machine.
Mm-hmm.
And there is, hi, Sarah. There is,
Hi, Sarah.
in Madison, Wisconsin, I think last year, they had a convention or like a gathering of the ectomobiles.
Oh, nice.
Ecto 1.
Ecto 1, yeah. And I know Scotty Rourke has one, but there was like 13 of them or something that showed up in Madison, Wisconsin. I don't remember when it was, but I saw
Holy cow.
pictures of it. Yeah.
13?
I think there were 13 ectomobiles. So people,
I
different.
know for. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say different models and all that, but they painted up their vehicles as ectomobiles.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that someone in Northern Illinois, most likely associated with the Six Flags Park, has a mystery machine, because I saw it every day while driving into and back from Chicago for work.
I think I might know who that is.
And then I saw it when me and my brother went to Six Flags, and we're going on a ride. We're going over a hill. I'm looking over the fences. I'm like, hey, that's the mystery machine. And then we drop. David says, some of us do attract things that others don't. And why is that? That is a big question, too. And have them tell you you're part of the family. Don't just have an answer for that. Just don't have an answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good words.
Yeah. Oh, there's an ectomobile in Teresa, Wisconsin.
Oh, nice.
Lee said that there's one there.
But
Those things are just cool to come across.
I promise, if you can find a similar style van that doesn't guzzle gas for a reasonable price, I will absolutely get that. I will paint it by hand if I have to.
There you go. And you have the artistic ability to do that, so that's cool.
Make it happen. Make it happen, Logan. We'll go cruising the country in it.
Absolutely. I'm down for a road trip in the mystery machine. Let's go.
Count me
I'll
in.
I'll follow you guys with a camera on the roof of my car.
Stop at a hotel for the night? Nope. There's a spooky mansion up on that hill.
Yeah.
The
That's where old man
adventures
Jenkins lives.
The adventures of Freddy and Shaggy.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh, you guys are so funny. Todd, I want to thank you. This has been so much fun, and thank you for coming on the show. And I'll help you paint it, Logan. Resnick.
Sounds good.
He's an artist too, so this is good.
Perfect.
Ghostbusters and Teresa. But I'm sorry, I keep reading comments and I'm trying to sign off here. But Todd, thank you so much for being on the show. This has been a lot of fun, and anytime that we need more really good information, we're going to pull you back on again.
Anytime. Anytime. It's been great. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
We have a lot of fun doing this show. It's probably something we never saw doing together.
You're right.
I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun, and we work really well together, and I really appreciate that.
Memories too. It makes damn good memories.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. I actually don't know any other parent and child doing a radio show.
Not a paranormal one that
I
aware
can't
of.
really name one off the top of my head.
Yeah. At least not a paranormal one. You're right.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, we are about out of time for tonight.
Oh, we go over every single time.
Yes.
Yeah. Great show. Tune in next week. We have another fun guest next week. We have Valentine on next week, and he makes potions.
Mondays at 9 p.m. right here. Same bat time, same bat channel.
9 p.m. Central, by the way, in case you live somewhere else.
Yes, 9 p.m. Central.
Time. Yep.
I forget that there are other places.
I don't. I'm all over the map all the time. I'm switching time zones constantly, probably like Todd is.
They roll in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes they roll backwards and I mess up the timing. But, that's
you and me both. I'll show up an hour early.
Yeah. I want to be on this podcast in the UK, but wait, I'm 6 hours early. No, I'm 6 hours late. I don't know. I think I missed it.
I think I missed it.
So 7 p.m. Pacific time, as Robin put in there, and 10 p.m. Eastern. So yeah, next week I'll be on at 10 p.m. Eastern. Logan will be on at 9 p.m. Central. So we'll have fun. Yeah. Cool. Todd, you're the best. Thank you.
So are you
much.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Have a
And
good night.
Lee, I hope you enjoy the book as much as I have.
Congratulations, Lee.
Yeah. All right. You going to take us out, Todd?
I'll take us out.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
The truth is here and now on WLTK-DB Talk Radio at WLTK-DB.com.